Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am the DJ Atomica, and we are back with Paranormasight, the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. I got a Steam notification while we were waiting. I'm not sure what that was all about. Hopefully it's not anything important. But we're diving right back in. This has been a very compelling game so far. It's it's an obviously paranormal mystery where we are taking the role of a number of different characters. It was not immediately obvious that we would be doing so. It seemed at the beginning that we would just be playing as one character, but this narrative is a lot more branching and interweaving than initially appeared, and so we spent last time playing a completely different character than the one we'd been playing before. The essence of the mystery, well, it's called 7 Mysteries of Honjo, but it's all centering around one paranormal ritual called the Rite of Resurrection. The Rite of Resurrection is a ritual that allows someone to theoretically, reportedly, bring somebody back from the dead. Many people are obviously desiring this power. We did not know how to do it, what was required. We were initially playing as just kind of a random office worker whose friend died via a curse and who gained the power of that curse at the same time. There are apparently a number of curse powers, each possessed by a different person, and each having slightly different requirements to activate the curse. If a person kills enough other people with their curse, they can collect the dregs of the murdered people's souls to use as payment for the Rite of Resurrection and resurrect the person that they want to resurrect. Our office worker, the initial one, wanted to resurrect his dead friend who was killed by the curse. He was not successful in doing that, but only because he was killed by somebody else. We don't know who. It turns out there are also branching paths to this story, so a lot of intricacies. Last time we were playing as the mother of a child who was kidnapped, ransomed, and ultimately murdered. She obviously wants to bring her son back, and so she hired a private investigator, initially just to investigate the murders. But after she learned of the curse powers, she told him about it, and now they're also hunting down the other curse bearers, because a curse bearer gets you a lot more soul dregs to use as payment than does a normal person. Actually, I'm wondering if they let me show... Oh, I have to sneeze. Okay, I think we're good. Ugh. Right, okay, so this would have made it a lot easier to show you what I am talking about. Shogo Okie was the first character that we played. This girl is our friend who died. We went on this whole quest of trying to kill other curse bearers, collecting their soul dregs. We initially did not succeed in this mission in the original timeline, but we turns out we can go back and save her by making a different choice. But this game is forcing us, the player, to use a lot of metagaming tactics. Like turning down the in-game voice volume to survive one of the curses, or influencing a character in a way that they don't understand because it's coming from us, the player. It's playing very interestingly with meta-textual mechanics. So yeah, last time we were playing as Haru Shigima. We actually didn't get super far in this one. Just knowing that she is apparently very intimately tied to a group of murders that happened, I want to say 20 years ago or something like that. Not much more detail on how that connects to the broader story, but we couldn't progress any further, so now we have to go and play, I guess, one of the other storylines. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Tetsuo Tsutsumi storyline, because they're, he and his partner are some proper detectives, like part of the police force detectives, not a private eye. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to, I think, practice my Columbo impression on some of these voices. And you'll have to forgive me. The screen capture on my computer is acting up again. I think I need to do an operating system update. But in the meantime, I'll just have to occasionally keep refreshing the capture. All right. Crime scene investigation. Tetsuo Tsutsumi. Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division, is investigating the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident, the former Yasuda Gardens, with his subordinate, Jun Ario. All good. Let's get started. Let's dive in. 11 p.m. at the former Yasuda Gardens. I think we might have been here at a different stage in the story, a different point. Hey, boss, forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. I feel like I'm making him sound more nefarious than I mean to. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow, like nothing ever happened. Oh, I doubt it'll get many visitors after everything that's happened. You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Didn't you know that, boss? Sounds stupid. Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is. Somehow I doubt it'll be that simple. Oh, you know, but you know, I've heard that high school girls are really into this spirit board thing these days. Supposedly you can call on spirits and talk to them by using the board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, we're just going to outsource all of our investigative division to a bunch of people with Ouija boards. Saves a lot on paperwork. You can try it out yourself if you're so interested. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss. What now? Stop messing around. You really think we're gonna solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper? Sounds like you know all about it. We gotta be open-minded. What if that's how police work is gonna be from now on? Don't make me laugh. Files updated. See, I believe that police officers would just carry a bunch of files around on them, as opposed to the other characters, who are seemingly just very note-obsessed. Spirit board. Oh, yes, this thing. Okay, it's not quite a Ouija board, but it's a spirit board. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Using these, all one has to do is ask a question of the called upon spirit. Sorry, I was blocking that one. And it will move the coin in answer. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and molded by Japanese occult enthusiasts. Okay, so now I'm wondering if it did actually have a connection to the Ouija board. Because I remember that was a pretty popular thing in the American esoteric movement. So it's possible it might have just crossed some cultural borders. Though it is considered a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possession. I feel like that's somewhat dubious as well. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking into schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures while using the boards. I'm skeptical of such claims, but I suppose that's what we're here to investigate. Well, not this directly. The occult, the spiritual, the... We're going to be dealing with curses at some point in this. Make no mistake. Listen up, Ariel. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever or whatever it was that did this, I'll get him. I promise you that. Well, you got the right attitude, but we don't even know if this is a murder yet. Biases weaken our judgment. Get too fixated on one thing, and you stop seeing everything else. Aye, aye, boss. So, now that we're finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know. Yes, let's review what we know. I want to know what you know, Tsutsumi and Ario. Now, it's getting late. I figured we'd head straight home from here. Come on, we gotta go over all the info we've gathered. For the audience, they need the exposition. What are you talking about? Nothing, boss. And what better place to do that than here at the scene of the crime, where we can soak up the atmosphere? Dude, this isn't a vacation. Soak up the atmosphere? The hell is there to soak up? You must be really into this occult stuff if you get off on being in a place like this. Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way. No. Don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here. Cripes. Ugh. Fine. Let's get this over with. Aye, aye, boss. Alright, so we're in the park. Very good. Have I seen this park before? Is this the same park that I was in? Could have been. Very well could have been. Yeah, I think it might... Yeah, no, I recognize this. This is where, the housewife, Haru, was hiding and trapping people with her curse earlier on in a different timeline. Let's investigate the surroundings. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yakoami Ichome were originally built as part of a daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became a city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. Alright, it's quiet. Why are we here, exactly? Like, specifically here. Scene. Oh, perfect. I don't see much of a scene, but maybe they'll, elucidate. This is where the victim was found. It's clean now. It almost feels like nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that knowing that is any consolation. Okay, so no details about that? Let's think. We always have the option to think. Let's do it. If I can aim it right. I'm working with a little bit of a lag here. I've got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. Okay, so we're not that thrilled about being assigned here. What other options do we have? What is that in the sky? Are those stars? There's only 2 stars in the sky? I think it is. Huh. Some pretty bright stars. I thought they were leaves for a second, but I don't think they are. I think those are just the only 2 stars in the sky. Oh, pond. I can look at the pond. Hello, Lordling. Thank you so much for the hydrate. How are you doing this fine Saturday? Lovely. Very fresh. Very fresh, exquisite premium tap water. Speaking of water, what's in the pond? This pond. They say it used to flow into the Sumida River. Okay, again, we're coming back to the Sumida River. We keep making references to that. I'm wondering if that's important. But the river became so polluted that they cut it off. Yes, Haru mentioned that as well. The river had become very polluted during the Industrial Age. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing anything obvious else to look at. Maybe just June? June Ario, a detective at the Tokyo Metropolitan. Twitch being weird? Can you see this? Wait, what? Twitch is being weird how? How is Twitch being weird? On the chat side or on my side? Because I'm not seeing anything weird on my end. I can see your chat. I can see your message, if that's what you're asking. Kept saying to verify my email and not sending my messages. Oh, weird. That's... That's very unusual. Well, it's... I can see you now. It's working now. If that's any consolation. I wonder if Twitch was just having a little bit of a hiccup. I've noticed a couple websites having weird hiccups lately. Like, Reddit's been acting weird. I feel like... there was something else. Something else I was having trouble with, but I feel like there have been... Oh no, I heard reports that, like, Verizon was down for a little while or something like that. I don't know. Maybe American internet infrastructure is having a bit of a rough winter. I couldn't say. June Ario, a detective in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. First Investigative Division. His rank is Sergeant. Must have was just stopping in to say hi. I'm stuck at work. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're stuck at work, first of all. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. You, wait, I thought you were done with that most recent job. Or is this, you know, starting on something new? Because I saw the finished pictures. I saw the finished pictures in Ender's Discord server. So are you starting on something else? Or is there just still things to finish up with that most recent installment? Yeah, I'm doing good. It's not as cold as it's been here. New one, guy called in sick, so I'm coming for him. Ah, okay. Good on you, but yeah, that sucks that you have to work on a Saturday. It's not as cold as it could have been or has been here. I think it's about to get colder, actually. Hold on, let me check the weather. I feel like we're about to enter a really cold week, and I'm not exactly looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be, like, on Tuesday especially, it's going to be between, like, 4 and 20 degrees Fahrenheit. which I guess is a funny number, but it's not so funny when you're having to walk through it. So, I don't know. Maybe I should enjoy the relative warmth while it lasts. This is his first time leading a case. It's like he's graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him. Okay, so we approve of June, at least tentatively. About the case. Tell me about the case. So early in the morning yesterday. Oh, God. A staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. All right, do I recognize this person at all from a previous storyline? I don't think I do. Seems to be wearing, like, a Letterman jacket. So, maybe a college student? Or a sports fan could be. Let's see. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a okay, so he's a police officer. He just wears that jacket, I guess. The fact that he was a police officer and that evidence of a struggle means that it's likely that this was a murder. But is there any sign of foul play? Like, I don't see injuries. He's just sort of clutching his chest. Could have been poison, I guess. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. I like the premise that Ario's just recounting this to me, who is very clearly also on the same police force. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether there was foul play involved. I think that about sums it up. Okay, but shouldn't we be, like, investigating the body for that? But, boss? Yeah? Is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but it's all up to the higher-ups. I'm sure they've got their reasons. Boss, you'll know something, don't you? It'll all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much. I wish I could establish a timeline for how quickly my capture dies on me. It seems to be relatively periodic, but I haven't been keeping a timer. Maybe I should keep a timer, actually. But I don't notice it when it starts every time. I don't know. I would need to average it out. Thinking about it, the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe he knew something. He wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something. Isn't that right? You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself. Can he put the rest together himself? Well, it is our duty to get to the bottom of the suspicious death, especially one involving an officer. The victim. Okay, what do we know about the victim? Give me details. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau. 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer. Juveniles and education. Okay. So, like, high school student is again what's coming to my mind, because we've had a run-in with not a run-in exactly. We've had a number of threads that seem to be sort of leading to this delinquent high school, but we've never quite followed one of those threads to its end point. So I'm wondering if these curses started happening because of some occult something that went on in the high school, or it's all connected back to that or something. I'm brainstorming out loud here. Please excuse me. You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like? Oh my god, he's huge. Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation. Sounds like we lost a good one. Yes, we did. We truly did. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but it's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling. He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. Only problem was that he took on so much he had the most unfinished paperwork too. I always felt we'd need an unusual guy like him to help us solve all our unusual cases. Oh, are we getting info on this guy? Yes, we are. Alright. Hajime Yoshimi. Hajime was a police officer with the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau and was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He held the rank of head patrol officer and entered the force at the same time as Jun Ario. Hajime was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the former Yasuda Gardens early in the morning yesterday. Once a rebellious gang member himself, Yoshimi turned his life around and used his own experiences to connect with troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was a passionate, loyal, and caring man at heart, looked up to as a big brother by his peers. Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases, but his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée whom he had been dating since high school. Wait a minute, I thought they said he was single. Did I misremember that? I thought they said he was single. Weird. Maybe that was a typo. Or maybe it's all an elaborate ruse. Maybe Jun Ario is trying to mislead me. Maybe my partner is a saboteur. Both of these are possible. Equally possible, I would say. Don't worry. You're plenty unusual yourself. Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, a real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago. Well, if that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is. There was one even weirder than you. Tell me about this weird person. Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. Oh. No best viewers today, thank you, bot. Helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously. That's a good story. Love that kind of thing. Makes me want to have a drink in his honor. Please don't make fun of my dead friend. Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field. You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss. Oh, come on, be nice to him. Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale. Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes. I can already see it. Aereo, no! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed? I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours. In my head, we're restarting capture. But that's behind the scenes stuff. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait. You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Sheesh. You really are something. Thank you? We have a lot to talk about with this guy. Oh my god. Even about the victim is still there. Alright. What about the victim's family? The Yoshimi family from the Kita Senju in Adachi City. Adachi? Uh-oh. But Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all along. No siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted. And he lived there alone? It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that. There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things are complicated. That's a bias too, but he never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. Stroking my chin. So he comes from wealth, but doesn't talk about it much. And he was a delinquent, he got reformed by a police officer, went into police himself to do the same thing for others, mostly focused on juvenile and education cases, and winds up dead because of it. I really want to know about the cause of death. I want to know what were the circumstances. Were there any injuries? Were there any lesions? Something. Give me evidence of the body is what I want. Yeah. Hajime was engaged. I thought you said he was single, or was that my character talking about Aereo? He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school. Over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. Such a beautiful woman. That's so. How terrible for her. But she may know if there'd been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her. Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. I guess we're saving that for tomorrow. More about the victim. Okay. Hey, boss? I looked into the case that Hajime was running. Oh, great. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died? Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles. Uh-huh. The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamezawa last week. This is the girl. This is that same girl. Okay, so we're making connections. We're making connections. This is the girl that was apparently threatening that one guy in the previous story. God, this is going to be complicated to describe. In the previous story, the private investigator met with a guy who claimed to know who was involved in the murder, and it was some high school girl because he was afraid that she had like a curse power and was out to get him. But it turns out that girl is dead because she jumped off a building. So something else has to be going on here. But yeah, it's all coming... I feel like we keep coming back to this high school. Ah, yeah. I did hear about that. Girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had contact with her even before this incident. So she'd been troubled for some time. That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what. Must have been trouble at home. That's what he thought too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents. Twitch bad, can't stay like I want. Good luck on your game. No worries, Lord. I wonder if something is happening with Twitch generally. Thank you for stopping by, though, and good luck at work, Lord. I hope things go well for you, and I hope the job is not too difficult. I hope you get to have a smooth volunteer fill-in day. I'm not seeing anything weird on my end for Twitch, so I don't know. Maybe it's a local outage or something. Holman spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead. And it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then. He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation. I see. And you're thinking it may have something to do with his death. We'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered. Right. Let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too. Okay, it seems like we're putting off a lot of things to tomorrow. We're still asking about the victim. Okay, I feel like we're kind of, like, really laying out a bunch of information here in this storyline. And what was the other case he was working? This one is also related to a Komagata High student. Okay. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good. Uh-oh, gang leader. Huh. Juvenile delinquency. Fun. She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault and battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then, he met with the girl the day... Wait. Then he met with the girl the day he died. Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him. Right. Just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust. She might act out without someone to help her get through this. We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But... we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her, too. Yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Okay, what's gonna happen tonight? I know that the whole curse thing has to happen tonight, so are we gonna get to any of this tomorrow? Though who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her. That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing. Yeah, I'm sure they'd prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss. Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me at least. Oh, I thought I was. You were? Shit, is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed. It's probably just me, actually. Well, I don't think you can get away with that with other people. So anyway, boss. Were you even listening? This game has a bunch of really good reaction faces, I have to admit. I'm tempted to really sort of mine this for reaction GIFs. We got quite a bit to look into tomorrow, yeah. So what are we doing tonight? Why are we here? Why are we here in this dark park in the middle of the night? First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow. Files updated. Is this like our itinerary? Notes on Hajime Yoshimi. Case notes regarding the death of Hajime Yoshimi, officer with the Sumida Police. Body found at former Yasuda Gardens. Estimated time of death 2 days prior at approximately 11 a.m. Cause of death, acute heart failure, cause unknown. Oh god, he got death noted. He got death noted. Signs of a struggle found at the scene. Efforts to locate witnesses underway. Body discovered by a groundskeeper. Currently investigating the fiancé of the deceased and 2 female students from Komagata High School that the deceased had contact with as persons of interest. Right? Fairly straightforward. Acute heart failure. That definitely sounds like curse shenanigans to me as the player, having seen... Oh my god, finally, we're on to cause of death. But that, yeah, it definitely... It's giving curse aura right now. Though that could be a red herring. As for the cause of death, we won't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appears to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness, and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved. Dying in the middle of the park like that, it certainly seems suspicious. We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We got people trying to identify those prints. If we can find who they belong to, we might be able to figure this whole thing out. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets. So we can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't as many people who'd think to try mugging a cop as big as him. I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly. Sounds like the perp would have had to been pretty strong to take on Hajime. Alright. Again, still pointing towards curse. I think we're pretty safe in assuming that's where we're headed. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Wait a minute, did I read that wrong? I could have sworn. Hajime Yoshimi. That's the one. No, okay, something weird is going on with this case. I don't know if they're just not paying as much attention to detail on this case, or if this is like if this is a clue in and of itself, but there's a lot of contradictions that I've been, like minor contradictions that I've been seeing in some of the accounts. At first, I'm almost certain that Ario said that he was single. But now he has a fiancé. And now this summary says that he died at approximately 11 a.m. But out here they're saying it's 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Could this just be typos? Could they just be mistakes on the devs' part? See, the trouble with this game is that both because it's a mystery game and also because it involves so many meta elements, I'm paranoid about stuff like this. I'm paranoid that the game is, like, doing things to mess with me. Good morning, Kixie. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Last scene showcasing Arcane Eats. Yes, I was lurking a little bit while you were playing that. Looks very cozy. How was Arcane Eats? And how is the morning treating you? I'm assuming that it's not as cold where you are as it is where I am. Yeah, we are... this game is getting to me, I think, because it pays such attention to detail in the metagaming aspects that now I'm suspicious of any slight discrepancy that I see in stuff that the game is presenting me with. I don't know. Thank you for the shout out. Of course, of course. Just woke up. Oh, well, good morning. Rise and shine. I do, wait, I'm doing some math here. Yeah, okay, you slept in. Good. Good decision. I'm so mad. I want to sleep in, but my job has me on a very sort of consistent wake-up schedule now. That my body just wants to wake up at the same time on the weekends, and it's very disheartening. And I'm just like, no, I don't. Please let me sleep in. I will, however, get my revenge on Monday, because Monday is a federal holiday here, so I don't have to go into work. But I know that I have my alarm set up to go off on Monday at like 9 in the morning. And so I'm going to get the distinct pleasure of hearing my alarm on Monday and being able to just say no and go back to sleep. Indefinitely, like not indefinitely, but like there are no further secondary alarms, no backup. I get to just say no to my alarms and go back to sleep. I am looking forward to that particular pleasure. You gotta enjoy the little things, I guess. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Again, according to Ario. It's also possible that Ario just, like, isn't reading the files. It's possible that Ario is just, like, an unreliable police officer. Outside of the park's operating hours, of course. It's probably not as cold, but it's likely that I'm shivering similarly. My location makes me weak to the cold. That is true. There is the acclimation aspect to it. I've been kind of in the northeast area most of my life, so I'm a little bit used to it. Like right now it is 34 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and to me that's like, oh, that's actually relatively warm for the season. Morning. I don't know if my Twitch mobile is working again or not. Well, let's cross our fingers. It's good to see you again, Lordling. Good to see you. Good to see you. How's work going? Things staying smooth? That is a wonderful pleasure that can be a slippery slope after a while. Look, global warming is going to turn everywhere into California, right? That's what I'm made to understand. Don't look at any of the other potentially disastrous consequences. It's just going to make Alaska feel like California. That's what I think we're banking on at this point. there's this thing that happened. Okay, this is going to seem like a really weird, wild tangent. But bear with me. There's this thing. Yeah, 34 Fahrenheit warm was not my first thought. I can imagine. If I have to imagine that if the West Coast broadly ever got to 34 degrees Fahrenheit, I think that would probably be a sign of, like, the sun had gone out. I think at that point we have about, a couple hundred years of heat left in the core, and then that's about it. Anyway, so there's this thing that happens in exoplanets, meaning planets that orbit other stars, where if the gravity is strong enough between the planet and its star, you get what's called tidal locking, which is the same thing that kind of happens between the moon and the Earth, where one face of the moon is always pointing towards the Earth. The same thing can happen with a planet and its star if the gravity is strong enough. You can have a planet where one side of the planet is always facing the sun and the other side is always facing away from the sun. But realizing where you are from, yeah, 34 is a nice day this time of year. Look, in the upcoming week, we're going to be getting to like 4 degrees Fahrenheit at some point. I think that's going to be at night, but still. I got about 3 hours of labor left on this furnace, but then I can at least hear you again. I'll try and keep it going to accommodate you. Excuse me, one second. I need to blow my nose. Okay, I should be back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so there's this thing that happens with planets, or that can happen with planets orbiting other stars, where they can become tidally locked. One side faces the sun always, the other side faces away from the sun always. And the problem with this, from the perspective of life forming on a planet like that, is that you get really extreme variation in temperature, right? Because you've got one side always facing the sun. That's going to be exposed. That's going to be a much hotter side of the planet than the side that's always facing away. And so if life exists on a planet like that, it is hypothesized that it would only be able to exist on the ring of land that goes up and around where the sun meets the shadow. Right? It's going to be on that boundary between the light side and the dark side of the planet, where you've got like a reasonable amount of heat, but not too much. You don't have to accommodate me, but thank you nonetheless. I'll try. We'll see where the afternoon takes us. Like 2 planets in one, a 2 for 1. Yes, if you need a really cold section or a really hot section, you've definitely got that. But life generally is more fragile than that, at least we think. So we think that it will exist around this sort of band at the terminus of the sun's light. Now I'm thinking, if global warming gets bad enough, if climate change gets bad enough, we might have kind of like a reverse orientation of that here on Earth, where the equator... Okay, we have an ad starting in 3 minutes, everybody, brace yourselves. Around the equator, it's going to be like basically uninhabitable, but at the poles, it's going to be, relatively temperate and habitable for humans. I wonder if that's like something that can happen. I don't know. Maybe the greenhouse effect like disperses the heat more than that. I should preface, I'm not a planetary scientist, I'm not a meteorologist, I'm not a climate scientist, but I'm thinking out loud here. I told you this was going to be a weird tangent, but travel must be a pain in those planets. Yeah, I mean, like, then again, on the other hand, if you only have a single ring of habitable planet, it might be really easy to just build a train that just goes in a circle. Because essentially all of your habitable areas would just be in a line, a straight line around one strip of planet. So it might actually be kind of easy to build like a train network You wouldn't even really need to build a network. You just need to build, like, you know, a couple lines that all go in the same direction. I don't know. Maybe it could be. I would need to think about it. It's a cool thought. Yeah, I do love reading about exoplanets. I actually used to do exoplanet observations at a telescope a few years ago. It was an interesting little program at the university that I was at. It was a bunch of undergraduates, and I was the only graduate student at the time. And we would occasionally go out and patch into the local observatory and make some measurements of exoplanets moving in front of their stars. It was interesting. It also usually happened quite late at night, which was a little bit inconvenient, but unfortunately just kind of par for the course with astronomy. You can't really do daytime astronomy unless you have something out in space. Didn't they do a movie like that where it's a train that travels the planet? Yeah, I think you're thinking about Snowpiercer. It was a Bong Joon-ho movie, the same guy who did Parasite. I think that was kind of his big break into Hollywood, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think that it was like a big train that just kept going around and around the planet. So maybe it would be something like that on one of these tidally locked worlds. Anyway, I think that's probably that's enough of a tangent for now. What were we doing? We were in the park, outside of park's operating hours, of course. And this is my big confusion, is when exactly this happened. I wonder if there's like a literal file that I can look at. Like a literal police department file that I can look at. His body was found early in the morning next day. 11 p.m. the day before yesterday. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Am I getting the events mixed up? a.m. Body found. Oh, was the body found at 11 p.m. the day before yesterday? What was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place? That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours. Oop. But it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss? More tangents? I require more space things? This is a dangerous ask. I can go on about space stuff indefinitely. Astronomy was my field of training, so I can always talk about space things. Like, for example, it's very weird that we can only see 2 stars in the sky right now in this game. There would have to be 2 very bright stars if they're the only ones visible. But they're also very close to each other. Now, see, the trouble is, I don't know enough about which stars go where. I don't have, like, an intuitive sense for the position of stars. So, I don't know if those would be 2 real stars. Like, if that would be, you know, Proxima Centauri or Sirius or something. I feel like Proxima Centauri isn't that bright. I might be wrong. Again, I study these things academically, not as a hobbyist. What do you think, boss? I think someone called him here. It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here? Oh, that does seem likely. They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret. And then they got into a fight? No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something. Then you think it was meditated. That would... Is it not... Isn't it premeditated? Is meditated a thing that can... is that a word, basically? Is what I'm asking? Is meditated... So... Meditated... Can that be an adjective? I guess is what I'm asking. Meditated. English meaning Cambridge Dictionary? Maybe. To think seriously about something for... So I guess it could also be meditated and not premeditated. That just feels weird to me. It feels weird to say that. For my entire life, I've been listening to detective stories and like lawyer stories where the word is premeditated. As in like pre-planned. In crime, I've never heard it. It's always premeditated. Yeah, okay, so it's not just me. Like that's the common form of the word. It's premeditated. Maybe the perp was actually literally meditating. Maybe we're looking for a monk, is what I'm saying. They called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him. Well, there is still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him. Right. I forgot that we're talking to you. All right. I'm asking about me now. But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place. Yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but... Yes, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it. So getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, is a dream come true. Oh god, we're partnered with a fanboy. Buckle your seatbelts, chat. This could get messy. Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it? What is it? If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect. Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When you run your mouth like that. It's getting late. You must be sleepy. Okay, no, I think Ariel might be fucking with us a little bit. I refuse to believe that he's not aware of what he's saying right now. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon. Yeah, I get it. More about me. Let's talk about me. I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today. Oh, really? Funny, I've been wowed by you too. Why? What's... I mean, I guess he's been fairly good at information retention. Like, he knows most of the case. On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss? I think he's asking too many questions. I mean, he's a detective, to be sure, but... I don't know, I feel like he's asking very pointed questions. The hell is wrong with you? Prying into my personal life all of a sudden. It's just, I never heard you talk about him or anything. Oh, are you single? Shut it. That's none of your business. Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. The department really pressures young officers to get married. I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though. How should I know? I caved to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago. Huh. So then... God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me. Oh. I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up a guy like you. I was never home much. Too focused on work. See, now this is definitely not Columbo. Because Columbo would never. I've been trying to do a Columbo impression with the older guy, but this is definitely not Columbo behavior. I'd come home late and get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all. How sad. Especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first? It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Ario. You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it. Not unless they're involved with police work themselves or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss? You really think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense. Come on. I promise I don't mean this the way it sounds, but how old is she? Jeez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try not to look so intrigued. Well, she's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college. Wow, a college student. Men love an educated lady. This is true. This is true, ladies. Men love an educated lady. Stop that. What kind of cops are you? What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that? She's living on her own, though? Huh. You must worry about her. Worry? I don't even know where she lives. Oh, so she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you'd follow her around everywhere. I would not. I don't think. Come on now, we both know that's not true. Listen here. You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side. What? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this. So yeah, Twitch Mobile is crap at the moment. Twitch Mobile is always crap. I do not like Twitch Mobile. Hey, maybe not now. I don't know if you need to get back to work or anything, but Lord, when you get the chance, try, instead of using Twitch Mobile, open up your mobile internet browser and try visiting Twitch through your browser instead of the app. I've tried this before a couple times, and I've had better luck. Like, when Twitch Mobile is being a little bit weird, or even just for, like, features that Twitch Mobile weirdly doesn't have, I find that, like, going into an internet browser and going to twitch.com on the internet browser rather than through the dedicated app sometimes helps. I don't know if this is a complete shot in the dark. Maybe this would help you, maybe it wouldn't. Just a thought. But yeah, Twitch Mobile can be very temperamental. Alright, are we done talking about me? No, we're not. We are still talking about me. I will try? Okay, cool. Let me know how it goes. Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Nejima murder. You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding. You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? We studied that case at the academy. Okay, we've got another broad historical connection made here. The Nejima murder is something that we learned about in the past storyline, the most recent one, the one with Haru. Where's the Nejima murders? So this calls it the Nejima murders because it was a bunch of people who died under mysterious circumstances and were discovered kind of hacked to pieces in the river. But when they caught a guy for one of those murders, they could only pin him to one. This Nejima guy was his name. Again, belonging to a missing female high school student. And we're kind of working on the theory right now that, like, this guy was possessed or something, because when you get a curse power, it seems to also give you murderous intent. We're not totally sure how or why that works, but it seems to be consistent with the characters that we've interacted with thus far. So, this is the guy who brought in the Nejima murder. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested. All that was just cracking the case, finding the guy. It was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy? It did. We were all terrified. Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may never have caught him at all. I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end. That's right. We didn't have the evidence. We knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have stuck Fumichika Nejima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years, huh? God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it. I'm sorry. Okay, very important piece of information there, actually. That we are connected to the Nejima murders. About the occult. I want to... I'm trying to sort of consolidate my story map, my mental story map here a little bit. We think that these curses are involved in basically everything that's happening in this story. The Nejima murders appear to have been a bit of an odd case because he only ever admitted to one murder. And he said he didn't know what came over him, so we think that he might have been possessed by these curses, murderous intent, or something like that. Then... I feel like we're at the beginning of something right now. I'm gonna let that stew. So all this occult stuff. Have you heard about it, boss? No luck, it seemed worse on the browser. Could just be my connection then. Wow, okay. Are you, like, out in the field right now? It could just be bad connection, frankly. What are you talking about? The rite of resurrection thing that everyone's talking about. No, not you two. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere. Oh, you have? That's surprising. Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job. But don't you think the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Honjo, in Sumida City. So I thought that maybe, cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that rite of whatever, or that record of fates. Sounds like you know all about it. Boss, Are you secretly into the occult? Stop that. Seriously, this isn't a joke. We're near downtown Cincinnati right now at the moment. I don't care if folks know roughly where I'm at. Okay. Well, I mean, that probably is a pretty... It's probably covered in good network, but maybe higher traffic? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws now. Seriously, this isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but bringing the dead back to life, that's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles, got it? I'm thinking dead spot. Either way, I'll write it out as much as I can. Yeah, at a certain point, you kind of got no other option. You just got to tank it. That sucks, though. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, boss, I think that about does it. Right. Let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh. Oh, God, what is that? Huh? Boss, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile. All right, we're getting our curse power, so it's us. We have the curse power. Damn it. It was that case all along. What? Oh, he knows something. Boss, what is it? Is there something over there? Ah! Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory is flowing into my mind. Deceived falsehoods hung forever in eternal darkness. Kill them. Kill them. Those who spread lies. Kill them all. Acquire the power of the curse stone, the evergreen beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Press the use curse button when someone lies to you. Okay, that's a pretty easy condition to fill. It's updated. Use the evergreen beach, cursed power. Kills by hanging the one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. That's fucked up. I guess content warning. He deceived us with his so-called Rite of Resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark arts swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting Netsuke clasps. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state, as if sentenced to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime, but dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man, even in death. He hung there for days till his neck stretched horrifically, a visage of pain still etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars with a rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hanging from it, as the mansion's owner was not at home. Another unfortunate event. The people, I assume, held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless. Alright, well that's a bit, yeah, it's quite graphic. They do not shy away from the language in this game. Alright, so we can kill anybody who lies to us. Ugh. Murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick, black tar. Now, kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You, who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Why do I desire the right? I understand why my partner would desire the right. But why do I? Boss! Boss! Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile. Sorry. I'm fine. Ario? Yes? I have some bad news. Oh no. Your senility is kicking in, isn't it? No. We've got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. We're not going home tonight. Huh? What are you talking about? So am I going to tell him? Because he believes in the occult. But I don't know if we would be so forthcoming with information as a sort of fairly reserved cop. I guess we can continue this storyline. Yeah, it is weird that this game makes you, like, manually select each chapter as it goes along. Now that we have the story path. Alright, 12 a.m., so there's an hour later. We're still in the gardens. Okay. So let me get this straight, boss. The right of resurrection really exists. Okay, so I guess we have told him. I'll be honest, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting us to be so open with this information. And to use it, you have to kill people using the power of curses from the 7 mysteries of Honjo. And the curse that you have is from the story of the Evergreen Beach that's told in this area. Is that right? Yeah, pretty much. You're quick on the uptake. You weren't your usual silly self while you were explaining, so I knew you were telling the truth. I'm never silly. The only thing I have trouble believing is that you're taking this occult stuff seriously now. I mean, talk about paranormal. I thought you didn't believe in any of that. It's not that I don't believe in it. My familiarity with it is why I've tried not to get too close. Are you just being a sore loser, not used to admitting you were wrong? Oh, shut up and listen to me. No point in trying to hide things anymore. We won't get anywhere if you don't understand this, so listen up. Please, just listen. You don't have to keep saying it. I'm listening. We don't have time to waste. We'll talk as we walk. Hey, wait for me, boss. This fucking music. Oh, man. This is some classic, like, 80s cop movie right here. Which I think we are in the 80s. I think we've pinned it down to we're, like, in the mid-80s. So that actually does track. I guess we're going to the bridge. This feels like way too upbeat for the tone of the game that we've had so far. Sorry, I just wanted to double check one thing. You're telling the truth, right? This isn't a side effect of your senility? It's the truth. Not like I can prove it, though. Alright, I guess we talk. He's not stupid, but he sure can be slow sometimes. Sometimes I think that positivity of his may come in handy at some point. Went from creepy to upbeat in like 1 minute. It really probably is the most jarring shift in tone we've had so far, because usually when the curses, reveal themselves and people get their murderous intent, it maintains the mood for a little while. Like it's unnerving, it's kind of creepy, it's kind of dangerous. But now we're just into, like, buddy cop mood, and it's very, very jarring. I'm sure you already know this, but this is all top secret. No sharing it with anyone. Right. You can trust me not to. But no, I just can't believe it. I heard rumors that you used to be a member of a secret division attached to the Security Bureau. I can't believe we actually have a department called Paranormal Affairs. Oh. Okay. So we're a ghost cop. And we have been before. Yeah, I'm sure it comes as a shock. I couldn't believe it myself. I thought the higher-ups were messing with me. Really had me worried for a while there. No, this is incredible. That's the whole reason I became a cop. I was always fascinated by secret agencies and stuff. You serious? But thinking about it, it totally makes sense. If curses and spirits really do exist, then of course we'd need a special department to protect citizens from them. You seem a bit too eager to believe all this. And hang on, I thought you joined up because of me. Come on, boss. Do you only have one favorite food? You can like more than one thing. Yeah, whatever. In any case, the official stance is that the supernatural doesn't exist, so Paranormal Affairs operates in secret. Still not sure why they stuck me there. Those 4 years, I worked nothing but cases involving the supernatural. Files updated? What could this be? Okay, about the Bureau. I'm actually curious about this. Although officially called the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division, Special Security Unit, Paranormal Affairs Bureau, it's more commonly referred to simply as Paranormal Affairs. Only a handful of people know of its existence, even within the police force. As the name suggests, it specializes in the investigation and resolution of cases involving paranormal phenomena. Oop, too far. Since the existence of paranormal phenomena is not public knowledge, nor is it readily believed by the general population, the Bureau's activities are conducted in the utmost secrecy. Currently, there are only 5 members, including the chief. The Bureau has a network of psychic contacts across the country who assist with their cases, including Mio Kurosuzu. The Bureau undertakes investigations into any suspicious stories that cross their desk, though the vast majority turn out to be hoaxes. Due to the sheer volume of cases, close-lipped, experienced detectives without paranormal abilities of their own, such as Tetsuo Tsutsumi, are sometimes assigned to investigate. The current chief of Paranormal Affairs is a man named Quiru Nakagoshi. He was born to a family of psychics who had been involved in keeping the world safe from paranormal phenomena for generations, and has served as Mio Kurosuzu's mentor since discovering her. Wait. Mio Kurosuzu. Oh, she's one of the psychic informants. Okay. He was born... discovering her. Quiru is an elusive figure. Or it could be Quiru? I don't know. Very few have met him in person, and he is rarely seen in the office. It is said that this is because he has oft been the target of curses. However, some theorize that it is in fact because Quiru is not actually of flesh and blood at all. His seat in his office is usually occupied by a Nue, a legendary creature found in Japanese folklore. The Nue resembles an ordinary white's thrush and acts as Quiru's messenger, leading to bizarre scenes of police officers earnestly reporting their findings to a bird. The term Nakagoshi case serves as a code name to refer to cases under investigation by Paranormal Affairs. Wow, okay, very interesting. I do like the mental image of police officers giving their reports to, like, a bird. That's delightful to me. It tickles my brain. Person of interest's updated. June Aereo. Curse. Except without a moment's hesitation. Yeah. Police Academy with Richter Kai, who is now a private investigator. Okay, yeah. And you are me. There's a penchant for candy and desserts, which he tries but fails to conceal from other officers at the risk of appearing soft. He delights in buying local sweets wherever he is sent to investigate a case and would often volunteer to be dispatched to distant locations to acquire them while he was with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. He is also surprisingly knowledgeable about current trends, the traits he puts down to investigation-related research, but which is actually spurred by his wish to have something to discuss with his daughter. That's sweet. That's really sweet, actually. He, like, deliberately tries to keep up with all the TikTok trends just so that he can have connections to his daughter. So, do you have it? Have what? Spirit sense, of course. Are you what they call spiritually gifted? Nope. I've never felt anything at all. Even if I did, I'd be a lightweight at best. One beer and I'm down for the count. Oh. Huh. Is that how people in the field quantify someone's spirit sense? Like how much liquor they can handle? Nope, that's just me. Thought it'd help get the point across. Except it's not just you. Wait a minute. I just had a brain blast. Hold on. Because Yoko used this same kind of language. Curse Echo question mark. After obtaining a junior college degree, Yoko started working as a housekeeper. Due to her ability to see things others cannot, she received strange looks from a young age. This ability spurred an interest in the paranormal, which she continues to pursue to this day. Best job at a trading company. I was wondering if this was our daughter, or Tetsuo's daughter. They don't share a family name. And I think she might be a little too old to be his daughter. Because he seems to think that his daughter's in college right now. So, maybe not. But it's weird that both of them use that same kind of analogy to drinking and, like, handling your liquor to spirit sense. That can't be a coincidence. Oh. Huh. Sorry. Seems like I just keep disappointing you. No, it's not your fault, boss. At the risk of disappointing you yet again, I'll tell you one more thing. Spirit sense is usually something you're born with. It's tough to develop it later on. What? So there's no hope for me? No, say it ain't so. Of course you were interested. Well, you never know. You may have some hidden potential. I know there's a high schooler who's got so much spirit sense that she works on the front lines. I say work, but she wasn't paid because it was supposedly part of her training. Yikes, that seems like it'd be in violation of Article 69 of the Labor Standards Act. Alright. You know the Labor Standards Act. Yeah, you really know the law. No comment. Even the occult field has workers' rights issues, huh? Alright, I think we might stand based Aereo, actually. He's looking out for the workers of the paranormal industry. Trying to make sure their workers' rights are being protected. We stand a based king, is what I'm saying. So, what do we do now? We got this rite of resurrection, and the curse echoes of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. The curses being spread around the city is a bit of an emergency. Is that bad? I'll put it this way. It's like handing out guns all over town. Yeah, who would... what kind of place would ever do that? Jeez, that's real bad. It is. So we need to find the source. Put a stop to it before something terrible happens. Usually that'd be a job for paranormal affairs, but... I talked to them on our way here. The main team is tied up till tomorrow night. He's still in the pose. He's just sort of stood there like, oh. I'm trying to replicate this pose. Hold on. It's like, so this arm is in the back like this, and he's like, oh, no. All right. I think you can stand up again, Aereo. I think that's going to be fine. So they told me to deal with it myself. Said it'd be fine since I have some experience. Huh? What? Then that overtime you mentioned means... Yep. You're gonna help me, partner. Alright, let's do this. You seem a bit too eager to dive into all this. You really have no reservations working a case you know nothing about. You said this was an emergency. I didn't think we had a choice. I'm just trying to be logical about this, boss. You really are something. It might actually be nice having you around. Why, thank you. They just go back to, like, blankly looking ahead. So, what exactly do we do? If these curses are connected to the 7 mysteries, and the people who have the others should all be here in town. Right. If there's 7 of them, that means there's 6 more out there. And we have to stop them all before they kill anyone with their curses. If we can, we should find and collect all the curse stones. But, boss, from what you said earlier, killing a curse bearer gets you closer to completing the rite of resurrection. Won't your life be in danger if they find out you're a curse bearer? Pretty much. We can't let that happen. Should you even be out here right now? Oh, sorry. I guess I still have a little bit of a stuffy nose. Hiding would only be a waste of time. The mystery of the one-sided reed is associated with Ryogoku Bridge. I was hoping we'd be quick enough to run into the one-sided reed's curse bearer. No such luck, it seems. Well, if nothing else, maybe word will spread that the cops are on the lookout and people will behave. That's putting a lot of trust in whoever these other people are. He's still in the pose. Dude, you can stand up. You don't need to still be shocked. It's not that bad, I promise. We're gonna make it through this, you and me. But it's possible that other curse bearers with the same idea will come here. Talk to anyone you see who seems suspicious. Ugh. That means someone who may have the power of a curse. Understood. In that case, why don't I ask that guy who's been watching us this whole time? Is this me? What do you know? There is someone there. Good luck. Or not me. This is the original MC. Hey, you there. Sorry to bother you, but I got some questions. I'm with the police. No, it's this guy. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll be asking you a few things, Mr. Yutaro Namagaki. That's your name, correct? Yes. I don't mind answering your questions. You're a detective. Did something happen? Oh, right. Lots of things have been happening around here. Like people dying. Yeah, this guy has always just been, like, super out in the open with literally everybody who stops by. I was surprised that we, the detective, were so forthcoming with our partner about this information, but this guy literally just, like, asks everybody who he meets. Hey, do you know about curse bearers? Also, I'm a curse bearer. Do you want to join me in my fight to kill people? The man identifies himself as Yutaro Namagaki, a 21-year-old college student. He was watching us so calmly. We need to be careful with this guy. Alright, let's start our interrogation of this guy. I'm not suspecting it will be particularly difficult, being how forthcoming he's been so far. So, what is it you were doing here? Ah, it must be the incident at the former Yasuda Gardens. The dead policeman? I can't imagine a detective would come all the way out here otherwise. Huh? Say, Mr. Detective, have you ever heard of the Evergreen Beach? Answer my question. How about you answer my question first? What were you doing here? I was answering your question. I came here to look for the Evergreen Beach from the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Actually, I was wondering if either of you knew anything about it. I don't want to reveal anything I don't have to. Nope. Sorry. Really? How strange. Detectives, you have the curse stone of the Evergreen Beach, don't you? How did you know? Ario, you idiot. Aha! Well, that was much easier than expected. Oh, crap. Sorry. It was a simple inference. I figured you would have taken the curse if you were just in the gardens. If you know that, then you must be a curse bearer yourself. I have no intentions of hiding anything. I plan to tell you from the start. Look. This is my curse stone. I believe it's called the Foot-Washing Mansion. That's right. But are you sure about this? I'm not so rash that I'd kill someone as soon as I found out they were a curse bearer. Not without talking to them first. You're the same, aren't you, detectives? You wouldn't use a curse on a normal person. Let's speak as equals, shall we? Okay, so what we have learned in past sections of this game is that even if I choose to not use the curse, the characters will sometimes do it anyway. So let's see what happens here. Boss? Sure. We'd rather solve this amicably, too. Alright, so it seems like he... What's interesting about this... is that... First of all, it seems that our character decided not to use... Either we decided not to use the curse, or the character decided not to use the curse. I'm not sure which... Like, if I had pressed the use curse button, I'm not sure if Tetsuo would have complied. But even without using the curse, it effectively functions as a lie detector. Because every time that a prompt like that appears, in this storyline at least, we know that the character we're talking to just tried to deceive us. So, what exactly was just said? I'm not so rash that I'd kill someone as soon as I found out they were a curse bearer, not without talking to them first. You're the same, aren't you, detectives? You wouldn't use a curse on a normal person. Let's speak as equals, shall we? Now, that block, somewhere in that block of text, is an attempt at deception. My initial thought is that the thing that is the deception is that this guy wouldn't kill someone just after finding out they're a curse bearer. That's my suspicion. Let's see if we can pry more out of him. Equals? You think equals? Let's speak as equals. Meaning he doesn't think that we're equals, or he's trying to... I mean, maybe he doesn't. Could be, you know, delusions of grandeur that he got from acquiring the curse power. It could be. Basically, what I'm in either case, it's this sort of amicability that he's trying to present to us. He's trying to come off as a very reasonable, you know, cooperative person. He gives off vibes of superiority. I think you're probably right about that. And I think he might be trying to come off as more amicable than he actually is. So this might still be a hostile conversation. But before we talk, there's something I should tell you. This is my curse stone. The Evergreen Beach, just like you thought. What? What? Boss, why'd you tell him? As for how the curse works... Boss, are you having another senior moment? If you tell him that... It hangs to death anyone who would try to mislead me. So if you try to lie to me, the curse stone will let me know. I don't have to use it to tell. Understand? Whoa, really? That's super useful. Okay, so they outright stated the conclusion that I came to a couple lines ago. All right, that was not meant to be secret. I see. Understood. That's a pretty useful power for a detective. Now then, let's talk. Damn. It seems I've lost the upper hand. No point for petty tricks then. I'll be honest with you. Ah, but he's not being honest. He does not plan to be honest. So far, so good. There's someone I want to bring back, so I'd like your assistance in collecting soul dregs. Can't help you. Please, all you'd have to do is tell me who the other curse bearers are. Sorry, but as a police officer, I can't just look the other way and let you go. Man, they're giving me a ton of opportunities to use this curse. Please, if you help me, I'll let you two go as well. Is that a threat? No. Okay, so, no, this guy's just planning to murder us no matter what. What I could do, I could preempt his power by going in here. Okay, the voice volume is already down. I've already unwittingly preempted his power, so theoretically, his curse shouldn't be able to affect us right now. No. It's your final warning. My curse. The foot-washing mansion. Do you really think you could just escape by being careful? It doesn't matter to me which of you was the curse bearer. I'll be taking both of your soul dregs away. Wait! Namigaki! The foot-washing mansion is a powerful curse, and so simple to activate. It is ready whenever I need it. There is no escape from the voice of my feet. Alright, I'm sorry. That's just a really weird line. There is no escape from the voice of my feet. Oh, God. I forgot what the screenshot button is. Was that it? Yes, okay. I'm sorry. I just needed to take a screenshot of that. That is... that is a wild line. There is no escape from the voice of my feet. Well, we know that's not true. But I don't know if he knows that. That might not be a deception. Ruins the moment. It is ready whenever I need it. Might also be a deception. There might be further stipulations for when this guy is able to use his curse. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Ariel, get out of here. Hurry, I'll find you later. What? Okay. Too late. Hear the voice of my curse echo. Ugh. The voice of his curse echo? Huh? What? Why isn't my curse echo working? Alright. Haha, 'cause I know things that nobody else does. In the story. I know things that you don't, and I know things that Tetsuo doesn't. Impossible. This has never happened. What's happening? I don't hear anything. He's going back. Ariel, now. Grab him. Right. Namigaki, get down. Damn it. Boss, here. His curse stone. Good work. Give it to me. Curse stone acquired. The foot washing mansion. Are we gonna get files on this? Damn it. Why? What do you think, boss? Should we lock him up? I haven't even touched you. You can't consider that an assault of a police officer. Let him go. All we need is the stone. Ugh. How could this happen? My right of resurrection. Give it up. The right was too good to be true from the start. I don't know what happened to you, but you'd be better off mourning whoever you lost the right way. Now get out of here. Damn it. Alright, well that was fairly easy. Whew. That was a close one, huh, boss? We'd probably be dead if he had activated his curse. Yeah, I'm not sure what, but something stopped his curse from... Boss, are you okay? Does having another curse stone hurt? Yeah. The curse from this one is flowing into me, too. Oh, no. I saw what activates the curse of the foot-washing mansion, and the resentful memory is bound to it. Ah, I see. I always thought this was one of the stranger of the 7 mysteries. Now I know why. It sure is something. What do you see? Let's save that for later. All you need to know for now is that it's a particularly powerful curse. We're lucky we took it from him quickly. We have an ad coming in 3 minutes, everybody. Take whatever precautions you need to take. Phew. Files updated. Alright, let's see what info we've got on this. Because this was a weird story, no doubt. Kills by crushing the one who hears the command, wash. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If I go back to his line... now get out of here. Right of resurrection. Is echo working? I want to see if he ever said the word wash. It's so simple to activate. There's no need to escape. There is no escape from the voice of my feet. The voice of my curse echo. Alright, so I guess washing counts? Interesting. Did he not say the command? Well, that's what I'm... That's not how we defeated him. But I'm curious now, because I don't think he, like deliberately said the word wash. He said the word washing, but that's just the name of the curse. So I'm not sure that was the same. Or perhaps it doesn't. Yeah. She was an accomplished onmyoji. Alas, she did not use her talents for the good of the world or the people, but for her own selfish pursuit of beauty. After a fierce battle, the woman dragged herself through the streets. It was like something had gnawed away at her body. Will I die? I've already obtained what I needed, as long as I have this. Suddenly, a terrible realization dawned on her. Her legs wouldn't move. She fell to the ground. What was happening? Surprised, she looked down. Her foot, once so beautiful and delicate, had grown ulcerated and rotten. He got her. She was on the verge of death and covered in filth to boot. Crawling to a nearby house, her breath caught in her throat. The curious residents opened up but recoiled from what they saw. My foot is so filthy. Someone, please, quickly. The woman expired while mumbling something unintelligible, and so ended the life of a woman consumed by evil. Alright. Where's the wash command coming from? Well, that makes one stone. Where do we go now? We'll visit all the places associated with the mysteries while it's still dark out. You mean we have to do all that over again? I hope they aren't all as aggressive as him, but people will do crazy things to bring back someone they love. It seems that the hatred the cursed stones are imbued with makes people more willing to kill. Really? Then what about you, boss? I'm fine. I may not have any spirit sense, but I'm tough when it comes to this stuff. Well, that's good. I have noticed he was not as, shaken by it all as the others were. That's why they loved me in Paranormal Affairs. So you are spiritually gifted after all. Alright, let's head to the next place. We do also have to account for the possibility that Aereo might try and swipe the curse stones from me at some point. So, I don't know. I guess we just keep an eye out. Hope that he doesn't do that. Alright. Who's next? Where are we going? Midoricho Park. Let's head to the park. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, 1 a.m. Midoricho Park. Excuse me. Sorry to bother you, but we have some questions for you. All right, are we talking with that... No, this is a new guy. I haven't met this character yet. What? Are you with the police? I haven't done anything. Don't worry, this isn't an interrogation or anything. We just want to talk. You're Hideki Araishi, right? The historian? We know who you are, so this won't take long. But since we saw you here, we'd just like to ask you a couple questions. Local history researcher, Hideki Araishi. Alright, nothing seems suspicious about him so far. Unknown curse echo, so... Hideki is a historian who works part-time as a curator for the local folk museum and a teacher at Komagata High School. Okay, so once again, we're coming back to this high school. Again. His recent publication on the rite of resurrection has caused a stir in occult circles. Hideki is the quintessential obsessive researcher. Despite being entirely unsuited for teaching, he has no choice but to take up a position at Komagata High School in order to make ends meet. That is kind of the way it goes. Time to go. Thank you for the stream and have a good day. Thank you so much for stopping by, Kixie. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Are you going to be continuing with the game? Arcane Eats. Are you going to be continuing Arcane Eats today? I hope the stream goes well. I hope your week goes well. And as always, stay true to yourself. Satisfying, make ends meet. Yeah, that's just kind of how teaching goes. That was a demo and we finished it last time. Okay, then, well, best of luck with whatever you're going to be moving on to today. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you once again for stopping by. While having a captive audience in his classes goes some way to satisfying his need for respect and recognition, his conceited nature makes him unpopular among the students. I've had teachers like that. Lately, he is concerned that articles he contributed for purely monetary reasons have earned him a reputation as a researcher of the occult, but the surge of interest in the topic and the resulting volume of article requests he is receiving are undeniably tempting. Hideki is a regular at the Kurokikyo Cafe on Hokusai Street, where he can be found outside his work hours writing essays and manuscripts. His published books include A Study of the Unknown and an Introduction to Bando History. All right. Historian turned article writer, or historian turned high school teacher turned article writer. Well, let's get it over with. I'm a busy man. Questioning people like this can put unnecessary stress on them, depending on their position. This guy is pretty sharp. I'll have to play it safe, and only push him when I see an opening. Was I reading his mind? What was that? That sounded like it came from Ario. Hideki Araishi. He says he's a local historian, but supposedly he knows more about the rite of resurrection than anybody. The fact that he's here at this time of night, it's plenty possible that he's a curse bearer. Yeah, I was hoping to not have to tangle with that possibility, but basically anybody we encounter at this time of night out in this city is a suspect. From appearances, it's hard to imagine this small, bookish, well-spoken man being very dangerous. In this day and age, you never know. I should be careful. All right, Mr. Araishi, what do you have to say to us? What were you doing? Now, Mr. Araishi, what were you doing here at this time of night? Doing research, of course. Day or night, information never sleeps. That's an admirable philosophy. You know, your research has been quite the talk around town. What is it they were saying? You discovered something about the book, the Record of Fates. Ah, right, you found some kind of ritual in the Record of Fates. Well, don't tell me you want to know how to carry out the rite of resurrection, too. To be perfectly honest, I'm tired of people asking me about it all the time. None of you even care about the local history. You just come crawling out of the woodwork when something interesting comes up. Looks like I hit a nerve. If you think you can force me to tell you just because you're policemen, you're sorely mistaken. No, I'm not giving up on what were you doing. Was the research you were doing just now also related to the rite of resurrection? Well, yes, that's right. What exactly were you looking for? I have no reason to tell you that. You wouldn't understand anyway. He's being very defensive. Was the research you were doing just now also related to the... Wait. Okay, I guess we're coming back to that at some point. Are you doing all this research so you can use the right of resurrection yourself? Huh. You're a policeman. Do you really think people can be brought back to life? Everyone I meet. Pitiful. Huh? So you don't believe in the right? Whether it's real or not has nothing to do with my research. Such things are better left to the occult freaks. Or so I thought. Huh? Things changed. It has become necessary for me to pursue the right. So now I pray that it is real. What changed? I'm sure you can imagine the funds for my research. I receive a large amount of funding for seeking the right of resurrection. And if I find it, I'll receive a sum so great that I'll never have to worry about money again. Oh ho. Then that means someone is sponsoring your research. Is that right? So what if they are? You have no idea how hard we work to secure funding for our research. I have no interest in teaching those children. Listen to me. I'll tell you one thing. Those experts you see writing provocative books or spouting nonsense on TV to try and get popular, all of them are just trying to get the money they need to do their research. With how popular the occult is, saying something even remotely spooky can lead to big money. What? But I bought your book! The pursuit of the unknown begins, first and foremost, with belief. I was so inspired by that bit. I do appreciate your patronage. Unfortunately, however, the occult is not my true interest. The fate of the unknown is to be destroyed by thorough research and deep consideration. Excuse me. No way. I can't believe it. You're surprisingly innocent. Yeah, you still haven't actually talked to us about what your research is. And what kind of research do you want to be doing? Huh. I'm sure it wouldn't interest you, but to put it simply, the focus of my research is how historical accounts transform into folklore over the years as they are passed down from generation to generation. What does that mean? Due to human bias, the account of any event is inevitably changed by the person communicating it. This is not necessarily done with ill intentions. It happens when someone tries to fill in the gaps in a story that lacks detail, or when something is left out or abridged because of the story's length, or when a story twists and shifts as it's spread through oral tradition. Even when two stories are told about the same event, differences in culture or environment affect how it's told, changing its content. Silly little things can turn into terribly mysterious legends. My research is the study of how history, culture, and legend all influence each other. Huh. I see. Take the 7 mysteries of Honjo, for example. Why are some of the mysteries seemingly about nothing particularly interesting? You'd think stories wouldn't last a decade, let alone hundreds of years. So why? Perhaps putting it that way piques your interest? I admit I am curious. So that's what you've been researching all this time. Makes sense. As I said, it doesn't matter to me whether the right exists or not. If people in the Edo period believed what was written in the records of fate was real. Sorry, that sentence was really tripping me up. If the people in the Edo period believed that what was written in the records of fate was real, that's all I'm interested in. Wow, we're really like drilling on him about this. But I have to be realistic. The research I'd like to do is unfortunately not very lucrative. That's why I need to take some risks. All right. About the Record of Fates. Where'd you get your hands on it? The storehouse of an old private residence in the city, just as the public was told. I'm unable to be more precise due to an agreement with my informant. So, what were you doing? In that case, I think I might have a guess as to what it is you were looking for. I think you're looking for curse bearers. What? Damn it. If you know about that, then calm down. No need to get defensive. Should I show it or should I hide it? Let's show it. We both want information, right? Why don't we have a nice friendly chat? A curse stone. You are a curse bearer. A leaf. Is it the Evergreen Beach then? Yep. Will you show me yours? This is mine. The ever-burning lantern. Interesting. I feel like this has only had positive effects so far of, like, letting people know that they can't lie to us, so I feel fine revealing this. This might come to bite me in the ass, but I'll tell you this for free. The Evergreen Beach comes from a man who was hanged for spreading false rumors. But the accusations against him were unfounded, and he died cursing those who deceived him. Ah, so that is the resentful memory held within the Evergreen Beach. The memories of the 7 mysteries are truly fascinating. If only I could collect them all. Do whatever you want, but you should know something. This stone of mine lets me curse anyone who tries to mislead me. What? But... So don't try and lie to me. I'll know. You would curse a citizen? And you call yourself an officer of the law? That all depends on you. I don't want to use it if I don't have to. What is it you want? The curse stones are dangerous. I'd like to confiscate yours. Excuse me? But my right. First, let me ask you one thing. You haven't used that curse, have you? No, of course I haven't. I swear. Alright, I'm gonna just kind of, like, pass on all of the opportunities to use curses, unless it's, like literally life-threatening. But it is still very interesting to have the lie detector. So, he has used a curse before. I see. Good. Now, why don't you hand over that stone? Unless you'd rather try using it on me instead. Damn you. I won't give it to you. If I were to say that, what would happen? Would it be a crime? The police are aware of how dangerous the stones are. I could arrest you under Article 1, Section 2 of the Minor Offenses Act. Or you could hand it over, and all you lose is your secret ability. Think of what would happen to all your research if you were arrested. Okay, we are strong-arming him a little bit here. But we're not killing him, so I suppose that's better. Fine. You can have the stone. Here. Curse stone acquired, the ever-burning lantern. Wow, we're really collecting these. Files updated. Let's see. What is the curse? Activation conditions. Kills by disembowelment. One who finds themselves trapped in the darkness of the curse. Echo. Right, I think I was almost subject to this at one point earlier on in the story. Back when I was playing as Okie. Good choice. I look forward to seeing how your research pans out. Huh. Oh, right. Would you tell us everything you know about what's been going on? If you help us out, we'll give you all the information we've gotten after we solve the case. What do you say? In that case, will you tell me about all the resentful memories of the seven mysteries? I believe they are the key to the secret hidden in the record of fates. Sure, why not? I'll learn about them as I collect the curse stones. So we've come to an agreement, I guess, with this researcher. But thanks to you, we learned a lot from him. I wonder. The mysteries in the right are all public information. He kept everything he knows about the other curse bearers and the source of the curse here hidden. I was hoping he'd at least give us a clue about how to beat these curses. Oh, I see. Then we should be more aggressive next time. Really make them spit it out. And by we, I mean you. I'm guessing you want... Ugh. Oh, man. My nose. I'm guessing he wants to save this curse. He wouldn't have told us everything, or he wouldn't have told us anything, no matter what we asked. But now we know where he hangs out. We can always send someone for him if need be. Right, got it. I was surprised to hear there are actually 9 of the 7 mysteries, though. Yeah, that's 2 extra curse bearers we have to find. We've confiscated 2, so there are 6 more. They could be anywhere in this town. We have to find them fast, or they might start using the curses. No, I think we're already too late. Huh? I didn't tell you this, but there were some soul dregs in Namigaki's curse stone. Really? Then he already killed someone with it. It's not much, so it probably wasn't a curse bearer. Shit. Well, we know who did it. We can make arrangements to take him into custody. We'll have Paranormal Affairs pick him up tomorrow. For now, we continue our search. Right. On to the next place. We just have to cross them off the list one by one. Oh, but... boss? Good to know we can use the Minor Offenses Act to arrest people with curse stones. Excuse me. Oh, I might need to hydrate a little bit. Hold on. Let me get a refill of water. Ooh. Much better. Much, much better. But why didn't we do that with Namigaki? If we could do that, there'd be no need for Paranormal Affairs. What grounds would a normal detective have to put him under arrest? Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Okay. Are we able to move there? We're not able to move there yet. Okay, I think that means that we have to move... No, it won't let us access this. That's weird. That's different from what we have over here. Can we go back to this? Resume. I think that means we have the option. Start from the conversation on the bridge? So, what next? I'm moving back to this because I think we might be able to progress more in this storyline now. The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. All right. Excuse me? Yeah, this definitely didn't happen last time. All right, we're moving forward. This storyline is up and running. Huh? Someone's behind me? Yeah, you. Wait a minute, weren't you the person who was with the foot curse man? Strange woman. Let me... Oh my god, the controls are so... precise. There we go. Where did she come from? It's like she appeared out of nowhere. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm terribly sorry if I've gotten the wrong people, but... would you happen to be curse bearers? Huh? Curse bearers? What's that, then? It means someone who's gathering souls for the rite of resurrection. Boy, the both of you were just very straightforward with this information. It was you and the same guy. Like, I feel like everyone on that bridge just does not know how to conceal information about curses. Maybe there's something about the bridge. You have heard of the rite of resurrection, haven't you? Everybody's talking about it. Color me intrigued. Care to tell me more, miss? What was your name again? Oh, silly me. I am a Tono. University student, I am a Tono. I suppose we can just check the surroundings one last time. Make sure nobody's sneaking up on us. No. Wait a minute. I thought I felt something there. Might have just been her. Okay. I'm gonna real quick check Richter. He's hiding it well, but I can sense that he's got his guard up. Could there be more to this girl than meets the eye? I could talk to him, I guess. Let me think. She certainly had no reservations telling us about the rite of resurrection. It'll be worth keeping an eye on her. She could be trouble. I can talk to you right now? I should ask her what her deal is. Alright. Ma'am, what's going on with you? She says her name is Ayame. I guess she's around 20? She must be brave, walking around alone this late. Or maybe there's more to it. I mean, she asked you about curse bearers. I feel like she might be a curse bearer, just, just going out there on using my incredible deductive skills that I picked up in the detective storyline. I'm starting to think that she might be a curse bearer. There's more to the rite of resurrection than meets the eye, you see. So the best way to collect soul dregs is to kill other curse bearers. And that's about the size of it. I hope it wasn't too much to follow. No, I think I got the gist. Funny old world we live in, huh? So, are you saying you're one of these curse bearers? You picked up skills, eh? Maybe. Maybe I picked up some skills. I've got skills of a kind. Oh. God, my nose is just getting so stuffed up today. I don't know if it's doing the accents. Or if it's just the weather. But yeah, I would say that I have some skills. Do they pay the bills? Unfortunately not. There is no bills are being covered at all by these deductions, I must say. I have to seek other sources of income. No, well, not quite. It's complicated. I'm not, but Yutaro is. Yutaro? Is that your boyfriend? Oh, heavens, no. Just a friend. Damn, rip Yutaro. 07's in chat for Yutaro. Our poor boy. His full name is Yutaro Namigaki. We're, I suppose you could say, partners in crime. Funny way of putting it. So do you know that you're committing crimes? You don't, I mean, you don't have the curse, so you didn't get the extra murderous intent, so why are you going along with this? Yeah, rip. Rip to Yutaro. So where is this Yutaro now? Well, about that, he's not actually a curse bearer anymore. He's more like a former curse bearer. Right, because Tetsuo took his curse stone in the other storyline. All right, very cool. Actually, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm a little confused about something here. Oh, no, I can't go to the story chart right now. We know that there are divergent timelines. But there are also different storylines with different people. Like, for example, Okie has had 2 divergent timelines, depending on whether or not he stopped Yoko from dying initially. And it seems like that the storyline where Yoko stays alive but Okie dies is the timeline that we're in now. But it's not totally clear to me if we're going to get diverging story paths in each of these characters' storylines, which timeline lines up with which. It's starting to seem like the timeline where Yoko lives and Okie dies is like canon, sort of. But, or at least for the bulk of the rest of the storylines. But I'm wondering if there's any further intersection with the timeline where Okie like killed everyone and was about to and completely filled up his curse stone and Yoko died. He died at the end of that under mysterious circumstances. I'm wondering if that will come back into the fold at some point. Former? How so? I don't really know the details myself, but apparently he lost his curse stone. Typical, right? He makes such a show of being a top student, only to flunk where it counts. So now, I'm out here looking for curse bearers myself. If you want something done right... Wait, do you want to bring someone back? He lost it? How did he do that? I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that he came back saying he didn't have it anymore. Although, well, it's strange that you'd probe into that of all things. I'm just the curious sort, that's all. Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Oh, I don't mind. I don't particularly care about keeping it a secret. This is so weird. These two being a pair is so weird. Their motivations, I'm utterly blind on their motivations right now. Yutaro can be a little irrational sometimes, so I have to keep a level head on my shoulders. Alright, why did you approach us? Well, I mean, to figure out that we were curse bearers, but why are you looking for curse bearers? So, anyway, mind if I ask you why you thought I was a curse bearer? Oh, that... I'm terribly sorry, I was so rude. I saw the two of you out late at night, and I suppose I made assumptions. Gotcha. Sorry if we gave the wrong idea. Out of interest, what was your plan if we did turn out to be curse bearers? Great question. And the answer is, I was going to ask you very nicely for your curse stones. And you thought we'd have given them to you? Just like that? Well, maybe not. But you know what they say. You never know until you ask. You must really love your boyfriend if you're willing to try something that risky. Goodness, no. We're just friends. Rip again. Richter is trying to get this guy out from under the bus, and she just keeps pushing him back under. My life doesn't revolve around him, you know. So, you're looking for curse stones. Anyway, you aren't curse bearers, so I'm just bothering you, aren't I? Please, ignore me. The pain. the pain. We all feel it sympathetically. The poor guy. I bet if we went and asked him, he might not say that she is his girlfriend, but he might be more open to admitting that he would want her to be his girlfriend. And the rite of resurrection. So, what are you trying to do with this rite of resurrection? Well, Yutaro has his own plan all laid out. I don't know if I can get behind it, though. It seems... How do I put it? Self-centered? Oh, there is no doubt. Yeah, no, these two are a pair of some kind. It just might not be completely symmetrical. It might be not parasocial, but unrequited is the word I'm looking for. It might be a bit unrequited. I mean, if you've got a chance to resurrect the dead, it would be a waste not to use it on someone that really matters, right? So I was planning to steal his curse stone at the last second and use it for myself. Okay, so she planned to do what I was suspicious of Aereo doing. Interesting. So you've got ambitions, girl. Well, until he lost it, anyway. Oh, but don't tell Yutaro I was going to do that, okay? I don't think he'd be happy to hear it. Of course. Keeping secrets is my business. My, aren't you dashing? I'm sorry. I didn't see that face of Haru's until the very last minute where she was just giving me like a give me a break face in that last scene. So who would you try to bring back? Sounds like you really have your heart set on this, right? What were you hoping to use it on? Do you promise you won't laugh? Cross my heart. Well then, let me tell you my master plan. Prepare to be amazed. Ahem. I'm an art student, you see. Woodblock prints are my specialty. Ukiyo-e in particular. Ukiyo-e, huh? You must be a cultured lady. Really? Do you think so? Everybody says it's a strange interest for a girl to have. You know, people often think of ukiyo-e as something inaccessible. As some inaccessible high-class art form. But that's actually totally untrue. Back in the Edo period, it was the art for the masses, amusement for the common people. So when you think about it, we feel exactly the same thrills from every brushstroke as they did back then. Isn't that fascinating? Huh. Yeah, I guess. And as far as I'm concerned, the undisputed king of ukiyo-e is the one and only Hokusai. Have you heard of him? Sure I have. He's famous. Doesn't he live somewhere around here? Or didn't he live somewhere around here, back in the Edo period? That's right. You're as knowledgeable as you look. His 36 views of Mount Fuji are so iconic. They're the only works of his most people know. But Hokusai was so much more than just mountains and waves. That's only the teeny tiny tip of a veritable iceberg of work. I've got to admit, I only really know him for those landscapes myself. Oh, don't worry about it. Anyone can learn. So is this one of this guy's works, this like super famous wave painting? Because I've definitely seen this before. This is like one of the most famous paintings in history, I would say. When Hokusai died at the age of 90, he left behind over 30,000 drawings. That's multiple drawings a day for 80 years. Amazing, right? So he kept on drawing right up in... Oh, so he kept on drawing right up into his old age, huh? Impressive. Yep. Oh, okay. So she's trying to bring back, like, a historical artist. A famous one. But even in his final years, he was never satisfied with his own work. His dying words were, "Should heaven afford me but 5 more years, I shall finally become a true artist." Even on his deathbed, he still thought he had more to learn. He was already the greatest painter and artist of his era. Who knows what he could have done with more time? Well, that's what I want to find out. Hold on. Are you saying? Besides, he always said he wanted to move out of 100 houses. But he only made it to 93. Isn't that just tragic? Oh, no. Nuh-uh. No way this is going where I think it's going. Imagine the masterpieces he could create with modern techniques. I feel all dizzy just thinking about it. You've got to be kidding me. So if I understand correctly, this lady's nuts. She's dedicated. Look, all I'm saying is there are worse artists you could bring back to life. I'm just saying. Historically, I can think of worse artists. That's right. I want to bring Hokusai back to life. Well, that's certainly a novel idea. Haru is done with this woman. It's like, this motherfucker. I lost my son in a kidnapping and murder, and she wants to bring back an artist. The fact that she's fixated on bringing an artist back makes her nuts. On the one hand, it might imply that she has just had relatively little loss in her own life, which I guess is a good thing, good for her. Because I feel like if you had anybody like in your family or friend group who was like super important to you that had died, that would be the obvious thing that you go for. So the fact that she's going for like a historical figure implies to me that she just has not had much, loss of people close to her in her life, which is a good thing for her. Haru is not having it, however. That's what she'd use it on? What a waste. Files updated. Yeah, let's see what... Oh, this was not what I was expecting. And that's fine, but she's going to steal the power from someone trying to bring back an... Oh, excuse me. Steal the power from someone trying to bring back an artist? I mean, I guess that's what we're doing. Master ukiyo-e artist, 1760 to 1849. Hokusai was active during the late Edo period, considered to be the golden age of ukiyo-e. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ukiyo-e. Ukiyo-e. In Japan. Born in Honjo, Hokusai spent most of his life in the area known as Sumida City. Okay, we've got historical connections here. Among his most famous works are the 36 views of Mount Fuji and the Hokusai manga. Hokusai was a prolific artist. Oh, God. I'm begging your pardon, audience. My nose is actively fighting me today. Hokusai was a prolific artist from a young age and has left behind a wide variety of works, producing an estimated 30,000 pieces during his lifetime. Jesus Christ. Though the general popularity of ukiyo-e has declined during the Meiji period, Hokusai remained a core figure at the center of the Japanisme movement, providing inspiration for countless artists around the globe. Despite his fame, Hokusai himself was said to be rather indifferent to money or decorum, and lived a life that quite appropriately resembled that of the whimsical and otherworldly scenes often depicted in ukiyo-e. Though he went by many names, in his later years he took on the title of Gakyo Rojin Manji, or the Old Mad Painter. Hokusai lived to be 90 years old, and never lost his passion for art. That's a good story. Oh gosh, is that the time? I should be going. I need to get my hands on a curse bearer before daybreak. Sorry for flagging you down out of the blue like that. Best of luck. I have to say, Haru's expressions have been my favorite throughout this whole thing. She is just so done with everyone else in this story. And I assume that is person of interest for her. Yes. University student. Ayame Tono. Her love of Katsushika Hosukai's ukiyo-e is so great that she wishes to resurrect it with the right of resurrection. Ayame is a clever but calculating university student who only has time for her own interests. She is making the best of a recent boom in the popularity of female university students, incited by their appearance across TV commercials and radio programs. How do I know all of these things about her? Ayame is content to ride this trend so long as it allows her to get her hands on whatever she needs and wants in life. Recently, Ayame has figured out that older men will fall for her if she acts a little bit stupid. Again, how do I know this? This was not anywhere in our conversation. She was approached by Yutaro Namigaki in town, and although she was not attracted to him, agreed to date him because his family seemed rich. Oh, okay. Extra rip for Yutaro then. However, she did not think much of him as a human being and is beginning to grow bored of their relationship. Again, I question how I know any of this as Haru or Richter. Wow. Kind of outed by the lore document. Well, there goes trouble. If we're going after curse stones, we should keep an eye on her. 2 if we can. Why do you say that? Before she left, she wished us best of luck. She's got at least an inkling that we're curse bearers. My. There's a good chance we'll clash sooner or later. We're after the same thing, after all. You head on back to the mansion, ma'am. I think I'll tail her for a while. Alright, is that the end of this chapter for me? Yes, I believe it is. Oh, no, I can keep going. I guess we'll keep going. Okay. Harushigima, 3 a.m. in the Shigema mansion. Or outside the mansion. Back here again. I left Richter to continue looking for curse bearers and came home alone. Mansion. The old Shigema mansion. We rebuilt it here after the great Kanto earthquake. It's always stayed the same all these years. Even the war didn't touch it. I never liked it growing up. I always wanted to live somewhere more modern. Files updated. Oh, the mansion? Once a warrior clan with a mansion in Honjo, now a dynasty of political officials, the Shigema family is one of considerable repute. The family estate was originally located some distance from the city, but the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923 forced them to rebuild in a new location. The Shigema mansion was at one time a bustling place where members of the social elite mingled. 1 year ago, however, the head of the house was struck with sudden melancholy, and ever since their mansion has stood silent as a grave. I think that would be me. So, struck with sudden melancholy after the kidnapping and death of my child. Can we not connect those dots, socialites? Oh, I can think. Will this really be enough to gather the soul dregs I need? What if nobody uses any more curses? I'll lose my chance to bring him back. Is that it? Is that all I can think? Yeah. Surroundings. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees. I worry that that woman might have scouted me out and might be following me now. I mean, I guess Richter... Oh, hello! Oh god, I forgot about collecting these. Mockingbird number 5 discovered. Oh god, I've missed so many. Approach the net. A bottom shelf surrounded by darkness. Jackpot. Look up at the first house. I mean, I suppose I could always go back and replay sections to try and find more of these stickers. But goddamn, that's gonna mess with me. Mansion. Entrance. Wait here. Why would I wait here? Well, I guess because there's things that I could, like, look around at. Not many things, though. Yeah, I think we're going inside. Let us enter. Oh, and that's the end of that. Wait, what? Complete... Well, I didn't read what that said. What did that say? Hold on. Is there like an achievements thing here? Achievements. Yeah, there we go. Complete the Haru branch of Chapter 1. Oh, there's 8 of 34 achievements. Okay, we might not be that far into this now that I'm looking at it. We could start Yako's storyline, however, I'm basically at when I wanted to be ending anyway. I'm ending a little bit early today because this nose is really messing with me. And I wanted to go about 3 hours today, so we can cut it just a few minutes short this time, and let's raid out. Alright, so the plan for next time is to maybe see if I can continue... I don't think I can continue this yet. No, I can't continue the cop storyline. So, we've got no options but to start Yako's story. So, this is going to be interesting. Because it's seeming to me like everything is kind of gathering around this high school. There are connections all coming back here, so I'm interested to see what the perspective is from here. And I think that's what we'll be starting next time. So, let's see who is online. Who can we raid? Oh, Boz raiding. Oh, excuse me, Boz streaming. I haven't gotten a raid Baw in forever. That's the ticket. We're going to raid Baw. Alright. Alright. Let us prepare for the raid. I will mute this tab really quickly. And... okay. I'm going to get the raid messages out. Please select whatever it is that you want. I will be going with the knowledge one. And let us get the actual raid started for... Oops. Funny. I always have to double check and make sure that I get the capitalization right, because Twitch is a funny thing where capitalization might matter sometimes. All right. Thank you all for joining me for another episode of Paranormasight, the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. I am starting to see where everything's converging. I don't have answers yet, but I'm starting to see the direction that answers might come in. I'm thinking this high school, I'm thinking the Nejima murders, and I'm thinking something is lying in wait at the meeting of all of these things, and it's starting to feel like it's coming. So we're going to be continuing with the Yako storyline next week at 1 p.m. EST Saturday, right here on this channel, the DJ Atomica. I hope to see you all there. If not, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week, and as always, stay true to yourselves, everyone.